Crossdale Place here, and we're back for another stream. I'm joined by my cousin Cameron, who's a little bitch.
That seems like yes.
Huh? We will not be back soon, and we both know it. In Shady's world. But yeah, man, we had hot now for a lunch. Have you ever had hot now, Cameron?
Had what?
Hot now.
Is that kind of like a hot and ready?
What the fuck did you just say, nigga?
No, I don't know what hot and now is.
I'm calling your dad and telling him you said that.
Don't, he's sleeping.
Actually, he's active on Facebook, so.
What's a hot and now? Is that a hot and ready pizza?
I'm beating your ass when I see you.
Why? Just because I don't know what something is?
Josh?
What?
Your son doesn't know what hot now is.
I know.
There's something wrong with him.
All Hot and Now shut down before he was born around here.
That's sad.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Grandma and Shanna had it for lunch, and he's like, is that like some kind of pizza or something? Like, I want to hurt you so bad for saying that.
Yeah. It's a burger joint.
Yeah, it's a burger joint, Cameron. Oh, I found my Slayer t-shirt.
Tell him it's just like Mr. Quicks.
I haven't had Mr. Quicks in forever.
It's just like Mr. Quicks.
Yeah. I haven't had that shit since I was like, what, 5 years old? I think I was with you last time I had it. Actually.
What you up to?
Nah, I'm streaming and playing Fortnite with Cameron. He's playing on his phone.
Oh. J.K. Rowling's going through some stuff.
Yeah, I know. I seen that. I shared it on Facebook.
Oh, you shared that one?
Yeah.
Where he said, sorry, I'm J.K.
It's Hemin. Where it's Hemin instead of Hermione.
Thank you. I said, no, I mean, I'm you now. You seen that one?
Yeah.
Yes, the B Stromboli in the briefcase of meatballs.
Oh, God.
Harry Potter is Italian now.
No, instead of Hermione, it's Hermione.
Yeah. Hermione.
Hermione.
Hermione. Sounds like some gay shit.
Yeah, I know, right? I was just jamming out to some Eminem and playing Fortnite. Some old Eminem, not this new shit. This new shit is junk.
Yeah, I was just sitting on here listening to music.
Who was you listening to?
Just bullshit on YouTube.
The next time you come down this way, man, you need to get Cameron some hot now so he can see what all the shit's about.
That ain't gonna happen. I ain't going to Sturgis just for some fucking hot now.
Well, you could bring weed down too and smoke with me.
I ain't got no money, no weed.
Oh, I get it.
I'm probably about to get shut off.
What?
Got bills to pay and shit.
Yeah.
They got money to pay all the bills. Yeah.
Dan said he'd help me get my motorcycle license, a motorcycle, and my normal license.
Yeah, tell him you want to start out on a gram. If he's going to help you, fucking tell him a gram is only like 3,500 brand new, 4,400 out the door.
He has a 5,500 at his house that he said I could have or use.
A 550?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And it's a Honda. But he said before I can use that, we need to find me a Shadow again or something.
Hold on a second. Come.
Okay. Peace.
I'll get back.
Come on, Rick, that's my headphones. Oh wait, I turned off my Bluetooth. Why, hello there again.
Who are you talking to?
Your dad.
Oh.
Yes, that's who I was talking to. Your daddy. Just, I'll be your new daddy. Yeah, he heard me texting my cousin a Snap video. Her friend said, I'm gay. Really? Maybe. I said, I'm sorry, but I'd rather shoot a gay than be around one. But that's because that's how, like, people like me and you were raised, though, too, Josh.
But weren't you gay?
I'm not the fuck here.
You were for a minute.
Actually, I was talking like that to piss my mom off. Because you know how mom is. She hates gays just as much as I do. Oh, you grew up around mom. You'd know that. Oh, my cousin's grandpa said I could use his land for hunting. He has 200 acres, and he only lives 2 houses down from my mom. So I'm gonna get me like a new like Remington 12 gauge or something, and I'm gonna go out there with some birdie shot and shoot some birds, and then get some buck shot and knock out a couple bucks. When the season's right. You can't blame me. Venison is the shit, man. How long has it been since you've had venison? Last fall. I'm guessing it was with Aunt Kelly. Yeah. When I'm able to, I want to go on a pure venison diet. Yeah, I was gonna add in fruits and vegetables. Like, I'm growing peppers right now so I can make homemade salsa. I have 5 different kinds currently myself.
Hey Alex.
What?
Are you gonna try pepper eggs?
I'm pretty sure I already have.
It's the pepper that's hotter than the Carolina Reaper. It's 49%
Oh shit.
hotter.
Cameron, I mixed the Carolina Reaper with a ghost pepper. I think I could take Pepper X. Yeah. How's Alicia taking it? So have the kids been good for you, man? That's good. Yeah, I just got out of the shower, so my hair is all floofy. What? Yeah, you've told me that a couple times. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. If I was you, I would have put his ass on a farm. Then with some Amish. Then he would have really learned. Yeah. Because when I acted like that in front of Will threw me out into the Amish that lived next door and told him, "You're working for them for the next 2 weeks. Have fun." Yeah, the Amish had beat him. Yeah, the Amish would have beaten him to a bloody pulp and made him go out and feed the pigs right afterwards. Oh, hell yeah. Grandma's house is the only house on our entire block that didn't lose power. Even Mom lost power. And they have a backup generator and they lost power completely. That's how bad it hit us. I don't know how we didn't lose power or internet, but we didn't. I'm still eating my fries from Hot Now. You can't blame me. Hot Now is amazing. Excuse me.
I wish I had like $4 grand right now. This dude out in fucking North Muskegon has a Jeep for sale, and it's probably worth $9. Easy $9 grand I could get out of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trade for a Harley though.
And you don't want to get rid of your baby.
So I've traded my Harley for that Jeep, and then I fix that Jeep up a little bit, and then I resell it and buy a newer Harley. That's my whole purpose of doing that until I get to the point where I have like a 2013 10th anniversary edition Jeep. Then I'll stop trading.
Yeah. My hair is so floofy.
I want a 2-door 10th anniversary Rubicon, like my wife's, but hers is a 4-door, but I want a 2-door one.
What I want is a 1956 Jeep. Like military Jeep.
A 1945 Willys is what you want.
Yeah.
A World War II Jeep that comes in a box that's like a fucking toy.
Yeah, I know. Them are sick.
It's smaller than my shed pad, the whole box, and when you put the Jeep together, it's still smaller than my shed pad, but they can travel 500 fucking miles on a full tank of gas, and
they're good vehicles.
It's just a little tiny 4-cylinder motor in it, and the motors really weren't that good.
But they'd still outrun any vehicle these days.
No, they don't outrun shit, bro. They go slow, but they have hella good torque, and they have decent horsepower, so they don't really get stuck. And if they do get stuck, it just takes 4 dudes to lift it up and move it out of where it's stuck at.
What I meant is that it can go farther than any vehicle can on a tank of gas easily.
No, not really, because there's other gas ones that they come out with, and hybrid, that will go fucking 10 times the distance of a gas one. And it's got a solar charger built in it and everything, bro. It's nuts, but...
I'm sorry, I refuse to drive anything that's electronic powered like that.
For the time, in the 1940s, when they were using those, they would go further than any other vehicle because of the size of the tanks that they would put on them. It wouldn't be factory tanks. They put a big tank in that fucker.
Yeah.
So basically, people would just be driving on a fucking gas tank that's sitting in the Jeep.
Josh, you gotta remember, I'm a big fan of...
Whitehall has one. And he has a tank that's fucking 50 gallons.
Damn.
He drove his shit all the way from Flint to some car show in Muskegon, and then drove it all the way up north to Traverse City to some car show in Muskegon. And and then drove all the way back to Muskegon, and then drove all the way back to Flint, and he didn't have to change the gas.
I haven't been out to Traverse in probably 2 years.
Still almost a quarter of a tank of gas when he got home after traveling over 1,000 miles.
Yeah, I haven't been out to the Traverse City in probably 2 years now.
Traverse City?
Traverse?
It's not called Traverse, it's called Travers.
Oh.
It's called Traverse, but it's Traverse City.
You get my point, though. Or you get what I'm saying.
But, I don't think he went to Traverse City. He went somewhere else up north. It was in the UP, bro. He drove from Muskegon to up, like, I want to say fucking, it had to have been up by the top of the UP somewhere. And then he drove back to Muskegon.
Damn.
And then drove all the way back to Flint. And it was some dude that my dad's friend knew. And that's where I seen him at. It's over at my dad's friend's house. And
Oh, Uncle Steve's friend?
He said it doesn't go over 35 miles an hour, but he can drive it all day long, everywhere. And never have to worry about gas. I was like, dude, that's badass. I want one.
I know, right? They're so nice, though.
It's like fucking 20 grand for a beat-up one.
I know, and that's the sad thing. That isn't what's...
one that's in good condition. A good condition as in used in a war and then fucking forgot in a field and then restored. You're looking at an easy $30,000 to $50,000 for one of those.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about that is there's a company called Mahindra. All right, Mahindra got the license from Jeep to make reproduction model Jeeps that look just like the Jeep Willys. They're classified as a side-by-side. They cannot be made street legal, but it's the exact same thing as a Jeep Willys, except for it has an updated powerhouse, a better motor, better transmission, higher lift, so it clears obstacles easier.
Yeah.
And those are going for about 15 grand. Brand new, 10 to 15 grand, you can go buy a Mahindra Roxor, is what it's called.
Those are good hunting trucks.
It looks just like an old Jeep, bro. They're fucking awesome. And people like them. One of my friend's dads has one, and he said he loves the motherfucker. He's like, it's just like the old Jeeps. Handles exactly the same as the old Jeeps.
They're good hunting trucks, is what they are.
Yeah, but the thing is you can't drive them on any roads anywhere. So as long as you've got a big chunk of property, then, yeah, go ahead and buy one and use it on your property. But the minute you take it on the road, if a cop sees you, they impound it and you can never get it back.
Like I said, my cousin Lori's, her granddad, which is my great uncle, he has 200 acres. That'd be perfect for when I go hunting out on his property.
Right. Yeah, 200 acres is a lot.
But he also has a gator that he used to use when he used to hunt on the property. And he said I could use that to pick up the deer if I go hunting out there if I wanted.
Nice. Yeah, that way you ain't got to carry shit.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured if I didn't have a truck or something that I could take out there, like a little Ranger or something. Or a bento box.
It really isn't that much property. It's a lot of property, but it ain't that much. But, like...
A lot of it's
like
farmland.
Or a golf cart or something to haul it out, back up to the front of the property would be nice, so you ain't got to haul that bitch by hand.
Oh yeah, especially if you get like a 6-pointer or something that weighs a good 100, 150 pounds, that would really suck.
I seen a guy the year before last, he's riding his Harley down the road, and I'm like, what the fuck is on the back of that guy's bike? This is in the middle of fall, bro, like, it's cold out.
Yeah.
And we pull up to the stoplight, and right next to us on his fucking bike is a buck over the back of this dude's fucking bike. He literally went hunting on his fucking Harley and shot a deer and brought it home on his Harley.
That sounds like something I'd do with like a Honda or a Suzuki.
On a fucking bagger, bro. He had a whole fucking buck on the back of his bagger on the passenger seat.
Dang, my muscle looks torn, dude. Like when I flex it, it looks torn a little bit. But, like, my great uncle, he owns a lot of farmland, too. That's what a majority of the 200 acres is farmland. I told him his great granddaughter, which is my cousin Lori. Your son's talked to her over call once or twice. She wants to learn how to farm and hunt. I worked on a farm for almost 6 years. I've hunted since I was 5. My cousin Lori.
Oh.
She's a little bit older than Cameron. She's almost 17. She turned 17
Well,
this
she's
year.
almost 17 and she wants to work on a farm. Tell her she needs to go find a chicken farm that's somewhere near you guys and start there.
Oh, no, I'm going to have her grandpa go get the stuff, and I'm going to show her 18-hour work days. I'm an asshole. I'll straight up do it. Like, I've done the 18-hour work days out on a farm. I can do it, and I'll do it again. I loved it. I loved working on farms. Her current boyfriend says he worked on a farm. No, he was a fucking shepherd. He was not a farmer. There's a difference. A farmer does everything. A shepherd only works with animals. And that's all he worked with was animals. Like, I was splitting logs, I was moving hay bales, I was feeding the animals, I was plowing fields and picking crops. I was a farmer. He was a shepherd. He couldn't do half the shit I did. It'd kill him before he'd be able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, me and you were raised in a different generation than them punk-ass little boys that say they're farmers and all that now. And plus, I worked for ex-Amish, which makes it even harder. Because ex-Amish are still Amish. They're just not as non-tech savvy. If you get what I'm saying. Like, I can pull it off, but I don't think people like your son or my cousin's boyfriend could. Maybe if I put Cameron through a little trainer course, he might be able to, but it's...
Yeah, Cameron's just a pussy. He ain't got no fucking motivation. It's his problem.
Yeah, Cameron. You're on speakerphone, so he can hear you.
He has no motivation to want to be fucking tough and strong. He just wants to be a lazy little nerd.
Yeah, like, I'm smart as hell, and I could still outplow someone else easily. But then again, us Pierces are strong, are we not? We were built Ford tough.
Oh, fuck Fords. Fords are garbage.
Dude, I've had better luck with Ford than any other
built like
vehicle.
a rock. Chevy.
Oh, do you mean you broke down on the side of the road like a rock?
No, that's a Ford. Found on road 10. Get it right.
Chevys and Dodge are shit.
No.
Yeah. Dude,
I highly doubt it.
I've had more problems with Chevy and Dodge than Ford.
Except for Ford started making trucks out of fucking aluminum the last couple years, and all they've been doing is corroding and falling apart. So yeah, I'm not fucking with no Fords.
Dodge did it first. And so did Chevy.
No, Ford did it first. Ford did it first.
Actually, Dodge did. They did it about 6 months before Ford.
Nope.
I promise you, man. They did. And plus, I take an old Ford over an old Chevy any day.
So you want to hear something?
What's up?
Pierce Arrow built a car with an aluminum frame and body in the 1920s. Pierce Arrow Company. That was the company in the 1920s.
Pierce Arrow?
Pierce/Arrow. The last name, our last name, Pierce?
Yeah. Actually, I think that might have been great grandpa's.
At the 1899 Berlin International Motor Wagon Exhibition, Durkhoff, an Australian company diversifying the new automobile business, introduced a small vehicle made almost entirely out of aluminum.
That thing would have fallen apart easily.
In 1994, the Audi A8 was the first mass-market car with the aluminum chassis. 94. In 2015, Ford started making trucks out of aluminum.
Dodge started around the same time, though.
Nope.
Or at least their beta models were. Ford may have put them out on the floor before Dodge, but Dodge started working with it before Ford. If you get what I'm saying. Like, they started practicing with it first. I had a friend's dad that was working for Dodge.
Yeah, listen to this. Do you remember how Chevy and Dodge were going to follow Ford's aluminum lead? Yeah, not so much.
That's all Dodge is made out of now, is aluminum.
2015 F-150 was revolutionary. The change, although costly, helped the automaker boost its shares of the hugely profitable segment, post record transaction prices, and increase its margin as America's full-size pickup leader over Chevy and Ram. Ford looked to be leading the way towards the industry standard for automakers to shed weight and improve fuel economy to meet government targets. But nobody followed. When Chevy and Ram unveiled their next-gen pickups at the Detroit Auto Show, the mostly steel bodies and beds underscored the starkly different path the Detroit 3 are taking for their most important vehicles. We don't believe in it. We fundamentally don't believe in it.
I'm sorry to tell you, but any truck that says that they are primarily...
He said the company analyzed the possibility of such a truck and decided against it because the downfalls were way more prominent than the upsides. We looked at everything, Bailey said. Did we even seriously consider it? Hell no. The divergent strategies of the Detroit automakers, which account for 83% of light-duty pickup sales, go against the norm for extremely competitive segment, in which big innovations by one company tend to quickly get adopted by others. It's not just different strategies, said Stephen Brinley, an analyst with IHS Markit. It's about strategies that play to your strength.
Josh?
Ford, she said, needed to put its largest vehicles on a strict diet. Hold on. And aluminum was the right choice for its needs at that time, helping the F-150 lose 700 pounds. The different paths were made possible by breakthroughs in materials by organizations such as the Steel Market Development Institute, which was worked with automakers, including the Detroit 3, for decades. The steel industry fought back hard after Ford decided to use aluminum on the F-150, and other automakers began talking up other alternative materials, such as carbon fiber and magnesium, but not aluminum because it corrodes too easily. Their focus the last several years has been on lightweightening, said Jody Hall, Vice President of the Automotive Market for the Association of North America Steel Producers. That's when we've seen the most innovation from the steel industry. They started making lighter weight steel. Paul argues that the most advanced steels for the auto industry are 2 to 3 times stronger than the highest grade of aluminum that can be produced, which is why automakers continue to use steel for their pickup frames. In addition, lower gasoline prices have made fuel economy less of a concern for many pickup buyers than when Ford was working on the F-150's redesign in 2015 when it was $5 a gallon. Ford said they had no regrets about switching to aluminum. In 2017, the F-Series logged its 41st consecutive year as the nation's best-selling pickup. It outsold the number 2 Silverado by more than 300,000 vehicles.
Not surprising.
The largest gap ever between two pickups, despite Chevy's attack ads that tried to portray aluminum as weak. What people failed to realize, though, is that the aluminum that Ford used reduced their weight by over 700 pounds, which lowered the price of the F-150 by almost $7,000. So if you was going to buy a Chevy Silverado and compare it to a Ford F-150, the exact same model, the Chevy Silverado 1500 or the Ford F-150, they're both the same exact truck built by 2 different manufacturers, 2 different manufacturing processes, all different parts. But it's classed as the same vehicle. The Ford was $7,000 cheaper than the Chevy. So why do you think they sold 300,000 more Fords than Chevys? Because people didn't want to pay $7 extra grand for a truck that's 3 times stronger. So no, I will not buy a fucking Ford. I don't care how their sales are. I don't give a fuck if they sold 30 million more Fords than they sold Chevys.
The thing is, Chevy still ain't stronger than Ford.
Because all them stupid fucks bought Fords.
I'm sorry, man, but I've seen the 2023 Ford against the 2023 Chevy, and the Ford still outdid it. Especially with pulling power.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did. At least the few videos I saw on it, the Ford did. And plus, if you were to roll a Ford and roll a Chevy, there's less of a chance of you dying in a Ford. I know because I've rolled a Ford and a Chevy same year and same model and everything, and there was less damage to the Ford than the Chevy.
It just depends on the accident and depends on the test. If you really want to technically get into it, if you really want to look up all of the specs and the results, go to Google, type in 2023 Chevy versus Ford crash tests.
But then again, this was an 82 Ford and 82 Chevy.
Every year that they come out with a new vehicle, they do an industry standard safety test on it. And when you look at the industry standard safety tests between Ford and Chevy, when they run them into that fucking wall with the dummy inside the vehicle, that Ford, the aluminum frame on the Ford cracked in several fucking places. The frame on the Chevy bent. It didn't crack.
But what I will say is, if they were all, like they're saying that it's mainly steel, that truck would cost a hell of a lot more than they sell them for because of how expensive steel is.
Okay, so listen to this. Which is more reliable, Chevy or Ford? Both manufacturers do a great job with their trucks, and both companies attract a very loyal following of customers. However, when it comes to debating the reliability of Ford versus Chevy, only one can have that edge, and that is Chevy.
Bullshit. I'm sorry, man, but that's bullshit.
Well, that's according to the statistic results for crash tests on NHTSA's crash tests, bro. That is the international safety standard rating for all vehicles, and Chevy withstood all of the tests better than any Ford that they put against it. Any Ford truck against a Chevy truck. The Chevy won because it was safer for the occupants than the Ford.
Like I said, I've rolled a Chevy and a Ford, same model and everything in the same exact way, and the Ford had a lot less damage done to it.
The 2023 Ford F-150 has a predicted reliability score of 86 out of 100. The 2023 Chevy Silverado has a predicted reliability score of 91 out of 100.
That's still better than Dodge.
In their full-size pickup truck category, U.S. News and World Report ranks the Ford 150 number 1 out of 9 due to sales only. That's it, because they've sold more, because it's a cheaper truck.
Yeah, but hey, at least it's still better than Dodge. That's a pretty good argument, because Dodge is junk. It has been for the last 40-some-odd years.
Chevy trucks last longer than Ford trucks. Purchasing a Chevy truck may allow you to get more use out of the truck. West mileage value results are extremely close, but the Chevy takes the win. Better gas mileage. The Silverado has a fuel economy of 26 plus combined mile per gallon, whereas the Ford only has 21. So you get over 5 more miles per gallon off of a Chevy than you do a Ford.
It also depends on how you drive the truck, too, though. Because I've seen Fords get, 30 miles to the gallon, but that's because they weren't driving it super hard or pulling heavy shit. No, it was a truck.
30 miles to a gallon is in a car, or it's a hybrid truck.
It was a Ranger, but still.
Well, the funny thing is the most reliable pickup truck in 2023 is a Toyota Tacoma.
Toyota's trash.
The Repair Pal reliability rating is a 4.5 out of 5 stars because they're easy to work on. The fees when you go to a dealership or a car lot to have them fix your shit, they're still going to be $100 an hour to have them work on your shit, but the parts are easier to get to and it takes less time to work on. Whereas GM and Ford and Dodge and all of them stuff their fucking spark plugs under the intake where you have to take the whole intake off to change the plugs on most of the shit. Toyota, you don't have to do none of that. It's like They simplified shit so people can still work on it.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't buy a Toyota to save my life.
Data sheet over the recent 6-month period, the Ram 1500 is a popular choice for truck buyers, but the Toyota Tacoma far shines that because of the repairability, because it's easier to fix.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a Toyota to save my life. Same with a Dodge. Both of them vehicles are utter dog shit. Cameron,
So
stop changing the game mode.
The Ford F-150 does 25 miles per city and 26 miles per highway. The Chevy does 23 miles city and 33 highway, so almost 10 miles more per gallon driving on the highway in a Chevy.
I'm not playing this shit, Cameron. But, when I say Ford is better than any other vehicle, I'm talking about, like, the 90s and back.
Well, the problem with that is the vehicles in the 90s were, 90% of the fucking parts in the 90s were unreliable, and another thing is because vehicles in the 90s are just reaching that list where they stop producing parts for it, so when you can't get parts for them no more, it's an extinct vehicle. Just like the Jeep Wrangler, the 4.0 inline-6 Jeep Wrangler TJ,
Yeah.
the only place you're finding parts for those anymore
Scrap
is
yards.
the common parts that you can find at the car shops, like fucking plugs and wires and small shit like that. 98% of the parts that you need for a Jeep Wrangler, you're either going to have to find from somebody parting out a Jeep or in a junkyard.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Yeah, if you look at the crash tests for Chevy versus Ford, bro,
Morgan's
when they
not
hit that
actually
wall,
gay.
that
She
Ford
was
was
joking.
fucked. But the Chevy didn't look that smashed up at all.
Right,
Like, it
Morgan?
wrecked the quarter panel a little bit. And I was like, damn, that was nuts.
Yeah. Like I said, I rolled an 84 Ford Ranger and an 84 S10. The S10 was a lot more damaged than the Ranger.
Those are little tiny trucks, though.
And I also rolled 82 Ford 150 and an 82 Silverado. Which one was more damaged? The Silverado. I've rolled way too many trucks. I've rolled like 6 different trucks.
You ain't never driven a truck if I own one.
Well, I was also using them as derby cars too, so. I was using them as derby cars.
Trucks like that, though, those smash up real easily. You gotta remember, a lot of the trucks from the 80s, the safety ratings aren't what they are now. They don't have crush zones and shit. That was just solid fucking steel back then.
Yeah, and the solid fucking steel protected your ass.
Most of the little trucks, when they got in car accidents, were usually in an accident with a vehicle that had a more solid frame than them.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
That's why
I
you
rolled
see all
them.
little tiny trucks, they don't exist no more. And then you also have to remember, cash for clunkers was a thing in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah. I'm walking away for a moment.
Up to $200 cash for a junk vehicle. Do you know how many fucking Fords rolled across the scales in the 90s and 2000s?
More than I'd like to admit, but I need to use the bathroom, so I'll be back.
Hundreds of thousands.
But no, Josh, if I was to buy a brand new vehicle at all, it'd probably be a Ford Bronco.
No.
Horrible on gas,
Get that
I
out of your
know.
fucking head, bro. Just get that out of your fucking head. Google new Ford Bronco problems. And then wipe your ass with it after you turn it off and flush it down the toilet, because fuck Ford Broncos. The new ones are absolute dog shit.
I found an 84 Bronco for $800. It needed a new carburetor though.
So you want to laugh really hard? I know this guy that bought a brand new Ford Bronco. Not the sport version. He bought the actual Ford Bronco, whatever edition. It's a nice Ford Bronco. The motherfucker took it to Silver Lake Sand Dunes, and he broke the front axle right off of it. He had owned the truck a week and broke the front axle. Snapped that bitch. It went.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
Brand new Ford Bronco. Guy got it fixed. We went up to the dunes again, and he was up there again. I asked him if he's taking it over Test Hill. He said nope. He's like, I replaced it with the stock factory housing. He's like, I'm not taking it over the dunes anymore. He's like, I'll come out here and ride around, but I'm not taking no hills. He's like, I didn't even get no air, and it broke my fucking truck. He's like, this thing is absolute trash. He said since he had the front axle replaced, he's had it in the shop 14 fucking times for electrical issues and fuel-related issues, where it would just stall out on the side of the road while he was driving down the fucking road, and it wouldn't run no more.
I won't lie, they had the same problems with the original Bronco, too, in the 80s.
They did. Fuel pump problems because it was installed wrong. Yep.
Yeah, but that's because the person that was building them didn't know what they were doing, which is the sad thing.
I'm not yelling at nobody.
Oh, Alicia yelling at you?
Yeah, she's yelling at me. She said I'm yelling. I'm sitting out here talking.
I wouldn't mind getting a Ranchero, though. Them were nice.
The old,
El Caminos?
Yeah, one of the El Caminos, was that a Ford, the Ranchero?
Yeah, Ford Ranchero. Actually, Ford and Chevy came out with it at the same time, so...
Well, Chevy came out with it, and Ford stole their fucking idea and created it right after, but yeah.
And Ford made it a lot stronger than Chevy did. Even Grandpa Mark would have told you that.
I don't know, dude. I know several people that have Chevy El Caminos that still drive them to this day. I know one dude that owns a Ford Ranchero, and it's sitting in his backyard rotting because he can't get parts for it.
That's because they stopped making the parts for the Ranchero.
And you can't find the pieces, the parts for it anywhere anymore. So
yeah, you have to build them
not a
yourself
better vehicle
anymore. You have to build them yourself anymore for any type of classic vehicle.
Yeah, and you know what people do when they have a Ford Ranchero that they can't get parts for the motor for? They rip the fucking motor out and they put a Chevy 350 small block in that bitch. Heart of a Chevy, bro. Heartbeat of America is Chevy.
Even though Ford was technically the first ever vehicle in America, which is...
It wasn't. Ford wasn't technically the first. They were the first major manufacturer in Detroit. There were other car companies before Ford. Ford just...
did it better.
Basically, what Henry Ford did was standardize the 8-hour workday. Basically, he said, okay, we're going to change up how everybody works. Instead of you guys working 4 hours a day and us having 5 or 6 shifts, everybody's going to work an 8-hour day. There's going to be 3 shifts in a day. First shift, second shift, third shift. This is the hours that you're scheduled to work, and you're going to fucking work it. If you don't, go work somewhere else. That's what Ford did. He industrialized the world by creating the 8-hour workday.
I mean,
So
he also
if you
paid
have
people a
anybody
lot
that you want to
more.
fucking hate because you have to work to fucking pay taxes, you can hate Henry Ford.
I could care less. I worked 18 hours a day on the farm. And I didn't have a problem with that. Why would I have a problem with 8 hours a day? But then again, not everyone grew up like I did.
And you also have to realize that before the 1920s, everybody didn't grow up like we did.
Yeah.
They didn't have an 8-hour workday. They just worked when they wanted to and made money, and they just went and did whatever.
Yeah.
Because your property was $1,000 for 100 fucking acres, and it came with a 10-bedroom mansion on it, a plantation, and it came with 400 slaves, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking, it ain't like it is anymore. because there isn't slavery anymore, they had to do something to make more people want to work. Well, raise their taxes so they can't afford it. If they can't afford it, we'll kick them the fuck out and they'll be homeless, and then they'll die homeless and don't have to worry about them. So he industrialized the work industry by forcing people to work 8-hour days.
Yeah. But I won't lie, I thought about talking to my cousin's grandpa, seeing if he might be willing to sell me off like maybe 10 acres of his 200 acres that he owns, so I can just use it as straight hunting land.
Well, that is, most people won't sell you 10 acres off of a 200. If he had 250, he might sell you 10, but 200 is a solid fucking number. And if you have a chunk of property with a house on it and you say, I've got 200 fucking acres, that's like $1 million right there.
Yeah. And the thing is,
Whereas if he sells you 10 acres, he's going to be like, I got 190 acres, and then he ain't going to get no fucking $1 million for it. He might get 700,000.
Dude, you need to get 1 million acres off of half that lot of land, because it's all straight woods.
Well, I mean, once you cut down the wood and sell it, it's no longer woods. So.
Yeah. But even then, a clear property like that is still worth at least $500,000 for even just a fourth of the acreage. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind having some property, but
yeah.
I don't want to pay taxes on it every year. Fuck that.
Yeah, from what Lori was telling me, he's supposedly leaving everything to her uncle, and her uncle ain't the smartest man.
Right.
So I figured if I get, 30, 40 grand saved up, I'd offer to buy a chunk of it off of him, or something. Because that set me up for life, and it'd make it where I hunt land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because hunting is fun. I love hunting. I put a little log cabin out there with some power and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're on the back part of 200 acres, bro, to run power out to there is going to be expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
They told my mom on her little measly 10 acres to run it 4 acres, and halfway across her property was over 10 grand.
That's horrible.
So if you're trying to have it ran 190 acres to your back, to the back where your property is, you're going to be spending $200,000 easy to have that fucking church built and have the power ran back there.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, he might even just give me 10 acres. Because I've done a lot to help him out, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I know is that I want to own acreage at some point in time.